And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing, all at the same time. Coming up on episode 73, we have the greatest 5-year-old's birthday party of all time. We've got a brand new fun way for you to slice apples. Kush Hayes will be perusing the menu for his movie review and so much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming in with the newest edition of the Waffle Box. The original Waffle Box, you will accept no substitutes because it is the best part of Wednesdays. Mike Fish, I'm doing great. What is good with you, dude?
Not much. Happy to be alive.
Right?
How about yourself?
Same, dude. I wasn't an immediate family, but a friend of mine, was literally, on his deathbed. The family was just like, yo, you guys, if you want to say goodbye, this is the time to do it. And they took him off the life support. And I shit you not, dude, this dude woke up. And while he's not out of the woods yet, he's not in the hospital tonight. He's at home getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow to celebrate with his son one more year. And, dude, I could not be more stoked about that.
So basically what you're saying, he was just taking a really nice nap, and then once they took the life support off, they were like, bitch, how dare you?
Oh, no, he had a massive heart attack. It was some serious ride and die shit.
But it's always nice
he's like, I'm not done.
It's always nice when they take him off life support and they wake up and they're like, what the fuck? Happy days. Well, mine's not.
Conversation.
My story is not that intense, but the reason I'm happy to be alive is because on Sunday, so I was driving home from my sister-in-law's apartment after watching Sunday pigskin football with a boyfriend. And you know when those moments happen when just suddenly everything, it's like the Matrix, all the shit just slows down. And you're like, oh my God, this is actually happening. So we're driving. It's a two-way street, so I'm driving, there's traffic driving the opposite direction. And as I'm driving, I see this white car that must be going at least not 40, 45 miles per hour. And all of a sudden, it just veers into my lane. And it just crunches into the side of this other car.
Whoa.
It makes a huge noise, as you can imagine. And my first thought was, oh shit, there was a car crash in front of me. But this car did not slow down one bit and just continued on smashing into a second vehicle. Oh, I'm like, oh shit, it's still happening. And then it continued on to hit a third car. And now at this point, I'm like,
are these parked cars or are they also driving?
No, well, I guess they're slowing down at this point, but we were all driving.
Copy.
And it was at that point, we're like, hang on a minute, is this car actually going to stop, or am I going to be in trouble in a couple of seconds' time? So I hit my brakes and kind of veer off to the right a little bit. So thinking, okay, if it hits the car in front of me, hopefully it misses me and goes past that little gap. But thankfully, by the time it hit the third car, it ran out of steam and stayed there. And so we're sitting there for about 5 minutes, wondering what the hell's going on. Some people are getting out of their cars, obviously helping out. So at that point, I'm like, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to get out of my car because what's the saying? Too many cooks in the kitchen. So I'm like, I'm not going to get in the way. I'm not a medical expert, so I'm just going to sit here. Eventually, obviously, traffic both directions stops. Eventually, someone kind of takes control. Okay, right, you guys stop. Right, you go around, and then we kind of. And as we drove around, this car that had ventured into 3 others, as you can imagine, was destroyed. And I guess the reason it finally stopped after the third one was that the front axle, had just split in two, and one of his wheels was just in the front yard somewhere. And it was like, holy, it was like insane. Someone's car was like open, and they just meant like the what was they called? The airbags were all inflated and deflated now. It's like, it was a shit show. And I'm like, I'm so happy that he didn't reach me. I'm sorry for the people that he did reach, but I was very happy that he didn't reach me.
No, you know, that's a fair thing to be thankful for. Okay, like, so did you stick around to watch nonsense, or did you just go? And just
I'll be honest, if I was on my own, I probably would have stuck around to see what shit went down. But the wife was in the car with me, and so she was like, "Let's get out of here." But
I think it was smart. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah,
get out of there.
But I must admit, I'm never one to kind of worry about when I'm driving. The rest of that journey home, any car that got near me, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, right.
But I'm alive, here to talk another day on Waffle Box.
Congratulations on being alive.
Thanks. I try my best every day. You know. Any I know we're gonna probably get into it, but it is Turkey Day tomorrow. The most giving of thankful days. What's you got any exciting plans, or you just keep sticking with tradition, sticking with family, getting drunk, getting fat?
Sticking with family. We'll probably have a couple cocktails. But yeah, there is currently a 10-pound breast thawing. It's thankfully just the breast and not the rest of the bird, because that shit is just annoying. No one wants everything. Let's just have the breast. It's fine.
You're not a leg man.
You know what? There's not enough time for that shit. There's no time. These things take forever to cook. So let's just, everyone wants some breast. We're gonna give them some turkey titty, and it'll be good. Hashtag turkey titty.
Hashtag turkey titties. Speaking of,
hashtag is gonna be a thing in like 2 years. I know I made a prediction, like probably not gonna be around for 5 years, but like in 2 years, are we still gonna be making the hashtag turkey titty joke?
I think so, because everyone's just taking it on board now. Like, you can hashtag on Twitter, you can hashtag on TikTok, you can hashtag on Instagram, you can hashtag on YouTube, you can hashtag. This is hashtags everywhere.
Yeah, that was my boomer thinking. Thank you for, everyone's doing hashtag. It's not just specific to Twitter.
And nothing Elon Musk can do to get rid of it. No matter how many blue ticks he gets us to pay for.
Oh man.
Did we talk about that last week? Like the updated of where it was supposed to be like, he made it sound as if everyone who wants a verified check has to pay $8. But now it's like, okay, no, if you're an actual verified person, you get your tick, but you also get another thing that says official account or something like that underneath it. So now it's just very blatantly clear who's just paid for the verification check, and it's almost embarrassing at this point.
I believe we talked about the $8. I don't believe the second check mark was a thing at the time, way back when, all last week. So yeah, I think that was a new edition, and it's just like, come on, stupid. Now, like, that's just stupid, honestly, man. Like, I was just like, yeah, you know, he's making some shakeups. It's his company to do whatever he wants, but it's like at some point, that's just dumb. Like,
but you know what? I will say some good has come from it, because I don't know how much you live on Twitter.
Not so much these days anymore.
But one of my biggest pet peeves was whenever anyone would say something, you'd always get that one person who think he would be the most funny, original person by just replying ratio. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Ratio.
So basically, I mean, like, so if he was making fun of your comment, so he would say ratio in the hope that he would get more likes just by saying ratio than your original comment. And it was just so annoying. But so now, but the new joke is
oblivious about that.
The new joke is whenever someone says anything dumb, it does tend to be someone who's paid $8 to get a verification check. And so they just instantly lose the argument, because it's everyone's just replying, "Ha, you paid for Twitter. You paid for Twitter." It's
wow. Yeah. I've definitely not gone down any of those rabbit holes. Yeah, I once fell down like racist Twitter, racist
Ooh.
Twitter's rabbit hole, and I was just like, oh, this is not only does this ugliness still exist, but also they're for some reason using 19th century propaganda still. It was the weirdest thing. Just like nothing photoshopped. It was literally just like old sketches from the 19th century. It was like, yeah, very very racist and very random and very just outdated, and also just like, who lives like this anymore?
Yeah, it's a very messy rabbit hole to fall down. Every now and again, I'll get caught out, and then because then for some reason, still to this day, my brain goes, "Huh, these crazy racists aren't reasonable," and then you sort of, "Oh, of course they're
Mhm.
not," and then you just give up on your argument.
I would catch friends having an argument with someone or someone's account, and while they're like giving them the third degree or whatever, like I just checked out the person's profile, and based on the tweets that were there, I was just like, this is like a robot, or or someone that's just absolutely mentally unbalanced, or like an incest
Just
victim. Like
replies the same
this
thing
isn't
for
a
everything.
normal, this isn't a normal person. Like I think you're just arguing with a robot at best.
Or my favorite kind of piece of people on Twitter, the ones who want to jump on their high horse and act holier than thou, and then you check out their profile and it's just them retweeting porn or them begging porn stars to talk to them. It's like, I've got nothing against porn stars or sex workers, but if you're literally on Twitter begging them for attention, you have no leg to stand on, my friend. I win
Just
that
a
argument.
smidge, just a crumb of attention, man.
Just please, you've got the nicest feet I've ever seen.
Ooh, yeah, I still don't understand feet people.
No, 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 no. But I was going to make a segue about sex
Sexy
workers
segue.
to our first story, but I think that would be a little bit too far, a little unfair to the fantastic workers of this chicken establishment. However, first story of this week takes part in, as I said in the intro, the world's greatest 5-year-old's birthday party. If someone who has, normally whenever, friends have children, they invite me to their birthday parties, obviously, I'll go just to hang out with my friends, but it's never a fun party because obviously there's going to be kids there and they're going to be watching the kids and you're trying to talk about something and then like, oh, sorry, wait 1 second. Chaz, what are you doing? Put that down. It's like, oh, for fuck, I'm trying to have a conversation here. And it's like, it's kids are distracting. However, if one of my friends, shout out, just hint, 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 if one of my friends who has children wants to host a birthday party here, I'm there, buddy. I am RSPVing now because, according to this article in the New York Post, parents of a 5-year-old are at the eye of a social media shade storm, which is a fantastic phrase there. After
Storm.
taking their tot to Hooters on his big day. Oh. And while
Mike, have you ever been to a Hooters?
I have,
Okay.
for research purposes, not other than that. But yes, I've actually I wasn't 5 at the time, but I've actually celebrated a birthday at Hooters.
Okay, far out.
And a lot of this story resonates as true, and it brings back happy memories. Story continues, and while the giddy little boy in a viral TikTok video with over 6.9 million views is seen smiling ear to ear whilst flanked by a band of vivacious waitresses singing happy birthday, digital detractors, this whoever wrote this loves that shade storm.
They love their alliteration.
Digital distractors. In the post comment section, angrily fired off jeers at his mother and father for forcing sexualized stuff on him.
Oh my goodness.
One outraged onlooker, whoever, I should have jotted down this name who wrote this. This is fantastic. Quote, who TF the fuck?
Who the fuck?
Who the fuck is taking their child to Hooters, especially on his birthday? As if like what? So if it's not his birthday, it's somehow better.
It's
If you
somehow
take
just
us,
a little bit better. It's just a little.
it's less weird. Okay.
Less weird. Yeah.
If anything, I would be like, who takes their child to Hooters? Oh, it was their birthday. Okay, that makes sense. Another person, bro, he's 5. What's he doing in Hooters? Having a great time, by looks of it, in the video.
I only saw a snapshot, and I still agree. He looks like he's having the best time a 5-year-old could have.
So you took him to a titty restaurant? So much for protect the children. It's like people. A lot of these people, I bet they have never been to a Hooters, because a lot of the people who hype up Hooters because yes, there are women there with short shorts and tight shirts, but Hooters isn't as sexualized as some people seem to have an idea that it is.
It's the PG-13 of strip clubs
without
stripping.
If it was a strip club and this 5-year-old was taken, fine, I could understand people's outrage. But it's just a rest. Like, you could literally go to any restaurant and you'll probably find a server with some cleavage hanging out. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
And if you're in the Midwest or most of, I'm going to say most of the East Coast states as well, like San Francisco had a Hooters and it closed like 2 years before the pandemic because, quite frankly, like Hooters is all about the T and the A, and in equal opportunity employment opportunities like this, guess what? Not getting any TNA. You're just getting the best waitress, and we don't want the best waitress. Anyway, not to be a pig. However, Hooters, you're gonna find like multiple families at like Hooters in the Midwest, the South, the East Coast. It's a family establishment, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's the only people who are going to Hooters now, and I apologize for being judgmental. Maybe I look bad on this, but only people that are going to Hooters and thinking, "Oh my god, I'm at Hooters," are the same people who we just spoke about. They're on Twitter begging sex workers for pictures of their feet. Like, anyone level-headed isn't going, "Oh my god, this is so hot. Oh my god." It's
so I got into an Uber one time. I want to say it was like 2017, might have been 2018. But this dude,
right,
I don't even know how the subject came up. Okay, like I didn't bring it up. It's 7 a.m. I'm trying to take a nap before I get to location. However, this guy knew more about Hooters than I knew about anything in life. He's one of those dudes, Mike, is what I'm saying.
What kind of things do you know?
Current best Hooters waitress. Like,
that kind of thing. Oh, you need to go on Tuesday when Sylvia's working. Oh,
you need to go on Tuesday when Sylvia's working, but she's not as good as Miss Hooters 2018, who I had the privilege of driving on such and so date from this location to the airport. And like this dude was all about, again, it's 7 a.m, dude. I can't focus on nothing. And for some reason, this guy brought up a conversation about Hooters.
So there was no. Did you drive past the Hooters or anything? There was anything to kickstart the conversation?
We were not near any Hooters. There was one at Fisherman's Wharf. There might be one in San Bruno. I don't even know anymore. However, like we might have been like in the midpoint if there were 2 Hooters that were close to each other, but we were nowhere near a Hooters.
That is interesting. So you literally just sat down. He was like, "Hey, you like titties? You like chicken?"
I was like, I do.
So anyway, yeah.
You tolerate it, but you're just like, yeah. Go on.
No worries. So in the controversial clip, I don't think it's controversial, but there you go. Several Hooters staff members outfitted in the fired chicken chain's regulation clinging booty shorts and low-cut shirts dressed the birthday boy up as a bird, giving him a faux beak made out of paper products i.e., paper, and
Yep,
2
yep.
serving trays for wings. The doting women then invited the entire restaurant to join them in a remixed birthday chant whilst the boy flapped his arms along to the beat. That is a fact. They do that at Hooters, and it's super fun. Despite the many waggish response from haters, a number of folks online approved of the child's Hooters Hootenanny. This is so adorable, a memory he will never forget. I bet I'll say. Little, maybe it's 5, yeah. Little buddies living the dream, hooted another. Yeah, I don't like people of the world. Stop getting mad at everything. There's zero. If you're getting this thing, please go to a Hooters. It is seriously not what you think it is.
Also, by the way, of all the restaurants that have to do birthdays, Hooters loves 5-year-old birthdays because guess who's not grabbing anyone's ass? 5-year-olds.
Yeah,
like it is like the most purest thing you could see at a Hooters. We're just having ice cream cake and clapping and singing happy birthday. Like this is the best day at Hooters for all of us right now. We're still gonna get a big tip. Maybe we don't get a tip. Who knows? But like no one's grabbing my ass right now. Thank you.
What I always find is funny is when someone says,
people grab your ass.
And double that. No one's grabbing my ass. I haven't got an ass. I've got nothing.
You need to do some more squats.
I do. But when they talk about like stories like this and they go, so this 5-year-old boy, just in case you were like mixing him up with the 5-year-old grown man in the story. Ooh. I don't think you don't have to say boy or girl at the end of a fight. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's a little thing, peeve. But there you go. Take your children to Hooters. Enjoy yourself. Because who thought? Did anyone think about that? Maybe because let's be honest. Up until a certain point, like it does say, like a memory he'll never forget. He's 5. He probably will forget it. There's more. I'm pretty sure he will, except for the photos. So at this point, when it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say that the birthday party is just an excuse for the parents to go out and enjoy themselves. Let's be honest. So if the parents want to go to Hooters because they like the chicken, maybe they wanted to watch the sports on TV, let them live their life. Who are you? You social media shade storm digital detractors. I love a bit of alliteration, but that art's cool. Whoever wrote that, they were very proud of that. They were very proud of that. And so they should.
Their thesaurus went into overtime that night.
Wonderful. Now, let's move on. Since it is the week of Thanksgiving, it is now time, for everyone to give thanks. And one person, as a podcaster who highlights dumb world records each and every week, one person who I am incredibly thankful for is Mr. David Rush.
What's David do now?
Who am I to deny Mr. David Rush from a bit more spotlight in this week's Dumb World Record of the Week?
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
And in this week's Thanksgiving special of the Dumb World Record, Mr. David Rush, who is, if you don't know him, now you do. He is a man that holds over 250 world records. He does each and every single one of them to promote STEM education. So he does it for a good cause. So we're not mocking him. And again, just in case, if David, if you're finally watching this and listening, please come on the show. Because the whole point of the Dumb World Record isn't to make light of what you're doing. We're not saying your world records are dumb. It's just kind of like, how did you come up with this idea? And this one, my friends, is a doozy. So David Rush captured the world record for most apples sliced in 1 minute on a pogo stick using a samurai sword.
So I knew a samurai sword was involved in this. Look, we don't. Mike doesn't go over these with me beforehand, but I knew a samurai sword was going to be involved in this. For when you said apple slices, the pogo stick is what is confusing me here. Also,
Sounds so
like how
dangerous.
much slice? Is it just a half slice? Is it a quarter slice? Like what are we doing here?
So it doesn't specifically say, but there is a technicality because David Rush's neighbor, another good friend, Jonathan Hollywood Hannon, threw
Hollywood
74 apples in 1 minute.
Okay.
David managed to hit 63 of them.
Okay.
56 of which were considered sliced evenly enough to count for the record. So I guess it has to be almost like a 50-50 splice.
So what he's doing is he's bouncing on the pogo, and Hollywood is literally tossing apples at him, and he only has one attempt to cut them with the samurai sword. That's pretty fucking badass, man. Like,
right?
I like it. I'm into it.
So he broke the record with 56 apples sliced with a samurai sword whilst bouncing on a pogo stick. And you'll be shocked, flabbergasted. I'm glad you're sitting down. You'll be shocked to hear that he said the most difficult aspect of what he called the, quote, pogo stick fruit ninja record attempt was learning to bounce on a pogo stick without using his hands.
Oh shit!
So he wasn't even holding on to it with one hand.
I figured at least he had one hand
and just going
he would do that
rodeo style on the. No, he was no hand in it and double handing the samurai sword.
Wow.
Like of all the ideas he's come up with, and he's come up with a few. Just keep going back in the records. We've counted a lot of them. But you think, okay, if I want to break the world record for slicing apples with a samurai sword, bouncing on a pogo stick, and I need to learn how to bounce on a pogo stick, just come up with a different idea. I would give up at that point. Like, because
it's amazing that the world record wasn't bouncing on apples with the pogo stick. Leave the sword out of it.
Crushing the apples with the pogo stick. Yeah,
crush the apple with the pogo stick.
What would you call it? You call it like extreme cider.
I mean, I guess. I mean, that's assuming we're doing this with like in a confined space.
Yeah,
so
why not?
Drink the cider later. I was just expecting like open street. Okay, well,
I think we've come up with a new idea for alcohol.
So
everyone loves a gimmick.
If you want to do grapes, you would have to like count out. Let's just nice round number 1 million grapes. We toss 1 million grapes. We have to count out 1 million grapes to put in this bucket, and then he smashes the shit out of it, and whatever is left, we deduct from that 1 million. And so, hey, congratulations, David Rush. You got the world record for 991,000 grapes smashed with your pogo stick. Let's have a glass of wine, everybody. All right.
Yeah, and then we sell it like the bottles for an exuberant amount of money because they're unique.
That will go to charity after taxes and after profit.
And yeah, and after our cut, I mean.
Our cut.
Yeah. I'm an idea man, I don't do this stuff for free.
Yep.
But yeah, shout out to David Rush. We are thankful for you, my friend.
David Rush.
And we're on episode 73, so we've got 27 to go to the 100th episode. Come on board, my friend. Come on board.
Yeah,
we want to interview you
on that project. All right.
It's going to be a big episode. But yeah, there you go. Congratulations, Mr. David Rush. And also Hollywood Hannon, who I just want to ask David Rush, did Jonathan Hollywood Hannon give that nickname to himself? That's all I want to know. That's...
I don't care if he did. It works.
It works.
I know there's
he looks like a Hollywood.
You're not supposed to give yourself your name, dude. But like, fuck it. Why not?
Because if you could, everyone's nickname would just be like Ace or something.
And that wouldn't work with everyone. And he'd be like, that's a stupid nickname. Brian Ace Henley. Shut up. Doesn't even We're gonna call you Ban. All right, Ban. Get out of here, Ban.
Ban.
Fucking banning you, Ban. Ace. The fuck out. You're not Ace. You're like more of a. You're a deuce.
The lesser known card in the deck. Okay. The Deuce of Spades.
Deuce of Spades.
That'd be a good band name.
Deuce of Clubs is a better name.
See, that's just why we do this. Right, if anyone releases a song under the name Deuce of Clubs, you owe us some royalties. There we go. Verbal contract.
Yep, there you go. 5 cents off each track.
We'll take it. Anyway, that wraps up the first half of this week's Waffle Box. It's blown by. My gosh, it's almost Christmas already. Still to come, we've got Kush's movie review as he's talking The Menu, starring a bunch of people.
Bunch of folks.
Also going to be wrapping up, of course, this Thanksgiving episode with our usual feel-good story, plus so much more. So stick around after the break. We'd appreciate it. Hey, you. Yes, you. Was you thinking of having that beer? But my friend, it's only 10 a.m. Won't everyone judge you for drinking this early? Don't worry, we've got just the thing to help you. Your very own Waffle Box mug. And now, everyone will just think you're drinking coffee, so you can enjoy your morning beer judgment-free. Go to wafflemerch.com to get yours today.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box episode 73. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Santa's almost here with the turkey. Still to come, we got a Kush talking about the movie review. It's The Menu, trapdoor segment, and so much more. But it is the middle of the show, so it's now time for the middle of the show quiz. And this week we are quizzing Kush on the movie that he will be reviewing, most notably about the actors that are in it. If you haven't watched Waffle Box or listened to Waffle Box before, we're going to give him 5 questions. 5 questions only. Obviously, the name of the game is to get 5 out of 5 or the best out of 5. If he gets the question right, he hears this noise. And that makes him very happy. Although if he gets the question wrong, he hears this noise. Which makes him very sad boy. Kush, please, are you ready to have your actor knowledge tested?
So the only thing I know off the top of my head is that Anya Taylor-Joy was not allowed to be an Alita Battle Angel because her eyes were too big. That was mean. She's beautiful. Okay, I'm ready.
Question number 1. In which 2008 movie did Ralph Fiennes, who stars in The Menu, star alongside Colin Farrell and Brandon Gleeson?
I want to say Harry Potter and something or other, but that's probably not it.
That is not it. It's In Bruges.
In Bruges. Okay. In Bruges.
Have you seen it?
I know that title. I didn't. I've
great.
not. No.
It's a great fucking movie.
I've only heard about it.
It's great.
I've only heard the title. Great fucking movie. Okay. I'll have to put it on the list.
Definitely. Check it out. Check it out. For the alcohols. All right, question number 2. In which 2015 horror movie did Anya Taylor-Joy make her movie debut?
Was that her debut? It was Split. That's amazing, though. That was her debut? No,
it was a movie
not
called,
Split?
It was a movie called The Witch.
Oh, The
2015.
Witch. Yeah.
The Witch.
A24 film.
Okay. 3 to go.
I haven't seen The Witch either. I understand it's also really good.
I imagine it's about something scary. Question number 3. Which X-Man did Nicholas Hoult play first in 2011?
Beast.
Ooh, he don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years. 2-1. Question number 4. Now I do apologize if I get this name wrong, but Hong Chao.
I know who you're talking about. Lady.
Played the character Amanda in which HBO drama?
Fuck. I'm not up to date on my HBO dramas.
It's
Ballers.
It's so it's speech. So it's not true.
Not true. I don't know what
Not
that
true. If it's not,
Not true.
if I'm not telling the truth, I'm telling a
means. Lie.
yeah, and then I'm telling multiple.
Pretty Little Liars.
Close. Imagine there's like
Oh,
a 6 foot tall person next to a 4 foot tall person, and they're both telling non-factual things.
You gotta bit me. I'm sorry.
Big Little Lies. What's the
Big
show?
Little
Big
Lies. I
Little
didn't even know
Lies.
that's the name of a show. Shit. I'm usually up on that.
Question number 5. Just to kind of
5. Just to do it.
Who Delstein played a character with the same first name in which American serial drama?
I don't even know what you just said there, sir.
So
I'm just gonna say John Leguizamo.
Paul Delstein. Can you hear me?
I hear you, Paul
Okay.
Delstein.
Paul Delstein. He played a character also named Paul in which American serial drama series?
No idea.
Which featured
No
a
idea.
guy with a map tattooed on his back.
Is that Prison Break?
Hey! Prison Break is correct. That was fun. 2 out of 3.
That show is so ridiculous. 2 out of 5.
You lose.
Damn, 2 in a row. You need to.
You know, you've been stacking them on me, man, and I respect that. We go into these blind, so
I'm just waiting. You have to wait so I can bust out the.
You win.
I would love to hear that sound. Sure.
Who doesn't love it? Air horn.
You win.
Ah, that'll wake some people up.
I see Blanca doing a backflip every time.
You win. All right. That was fun as usual. We're going to give it back to the menu and talk about all those people. Talking about Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, Hong Chao, Paul Delstein. In their little movie they do together in a little bit. But before then, as always, we need to do our little bit for the mankind. As UN, have you noticed, have you realized, have announced that there's now over 8 billion people on this crazy little thing we call Earth. So what we're doing week by week, we are taking one of those and sending them into oblivion down a trapdoor to try to save the world. This week we come to the letter G, and it's now time for the trapdoor segment. Again, if you're new to the show, what we do here, I give Kush the names of 4 people. What he gets to then do is decide which one of those gets to go down the trapdoor and out of existence. Most importantly, what he has to do is show his working. This week, we've been working our way through the alphabet. We have stumbled across the letter G. It ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. And the four names.
You looked out. Waffle Box is going crazy.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hose down, G's up, and etc.
All right.
etc. etc.
That's how they kind of say it. Sure.
Doesn't quite sound the same with an English accent, does it?
I think you just said it wrong. That's all right.
Move, bitch. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out the way.
Get
bitch.
out of the way.
So the four celebrities that begin with the letter G this week are Mr. George Harrison, most famously for being that other one from the Beatles that not many people talk about. Number 2, George Clooney, famous for being that guy who's still somehow hot, and you're like, oh my, he was in ER. Oh. Number 3, George Lucas, famous for releasing Star Wars and then releasing it again and again and again and again and again.
If it ain't broke, except every time it is broke.
Number 4, George Foreman, famous for creating a grill, but I can't remember what the grill was called. Also, I think he did a bit of boxing in his time, but no one cares about that.
He did a little boxing.
He dabbled in the old boxing. So yeah, George Harrison, George Clooney, George Lucas, George Foreman. Which one don't we need anymore? Obviously, again, respect the exercise. We have to pretend they're all alive.
Oh, gotcha. So I was going to
don't take the easy way out and just dump the dead guy.
I was going to question one of these names, but so I think the one name on here that I don't know is George Harrison. Like, I know the Beatles. I know of the Beatles at least. Whenever I picture the Beatles, it's always that clean cut. They're in the suits. They got the weird British bowl cut. But then, like, there's all this cool shit they did when they started experimenting with LSD. And then, like, the suits and tie were only 1 year. And then the next year they just went crazy and then we're doing everything else. And like, that was their total existence. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. Like, they only lasted like 3 years. And then they just,
I think it was longer than that, right? But yes, I think it's one of those things where they definitely wasn't around for as long as people think, but I think it was longer than 3 years. I'm pretty sure of that.
Okay. Fair enough. But it would be a GD crime if we tossed George Harrison down the well. So he's hanging out for a while. Like, he's supposed to be like, a musical god, and then George Clooney, I don't think anyone's talking about his ER run anymore. He's been in movies for so long, and he's like been a director and a producer and won multiple Oscars now. Like, I think people only know him for being in film. And
I would be though that
married.
I would be that douchebag that if I ever met George Clooney, I would be like the one that goes, "Oh my God, George, when are you bringing ER back?"
That's fair. And although, he probably has an answer his chamber.
Probably knowing my luck, his character got killed off and I forgot about it.
So I've only seen one episode of ER and I was distracted the entire time. Like, it wasn't a thing I focused on. So I know George Clooney was a thing on ER and then he was not, and then it went on like another decade. That's all I know about that. But yeah, Clooney ain't going anywhere. George Lucas, I mean, hey man, he provided us with the original Star Wars trilogy. That you kids today know it as episodes 4, 5, and 6, and quite frankly, they're still the best Star Wars. It's a shame that he decided he had to keep altering them, because they just, with every alteration, it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder to the point where I just bought illegally a despecialized edition.
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Gosh.
Like, just the old Laserdisc transfers, and they are fantastic, dude. I still love those movies. Like it's one of the few Blu-rays. I know we're being recorded. The FBI is recording us.
Yeah, my God.
It happens. And you know what? It's fine.
Big
It's fine.
fans.
Don't worry about it.
Of the Waffle Box. Shout out
You
to
know
the
what?
FBI.
eBay's involved, so they'll have to get their lawyers involved. So now I feel like it's not going to be an issue. But and then finally, George Foreman, dude, I've been using your grill for like maybe a decade, but I've been using it every day since the pandemic, and it's the only reason why I am not 20 pounds heavier like most folks after these
I've never used
two
a
and
George
half
Foreman
years.
grill.
It's very simple. It's like I'm sure it's like any other grill. It's very simple though. Like, you know, just close the hatch. That's it.
That's a good impression.
Give it a good yeah, man. I put some tinfoil around it, and that decreases how many times I have to clean it, but you still have to clean it. I think that's the hardest part. Otherwise, you get a very good, healthy chicken breast or hamburger bun out of it, man. It's good. So, however, after going all of those, we're getting rid of George Lucas. So,
I mean, is it the end of the world? You know, he's done his bit. Is it the end of if we don't get any more
appreciate the
Star Wars
trilogy
stuff?
You know, he created a thing that got bigger than him, and we should respect the fact that he decided to go like, you know what, I don't have any joy in this anymore, and no matter what I say, it gets contradicted by the true fans, so I'm just gonna sell it to the highest bidder and let them deal with it, and namaste.
Mickey Mouse.
I feel like that was a mercy sacrifice for George Lucas to put him out of his misery. Not because we don't like him. We still like him, but yeah.
Shout out to George Lucas. We
love you, George. Yeah, man. We barely knew you.
I'm slowly regretting ever putting that space heater on. This is now like a sauna in this office.
You need a second?
Studios. No, I'm good. I've turned it off, so it should cool down pretty quick. Okay. Hopefully by the time this next jingle plays, because now it's time for Kush to discuss the movie he went to see the other day. It stars lots of people, and it's in movie theaters, and it has a plot, a start, middle, and an end. That's my review of this. It's now time to hand it over to the professional. It's time for Kush's movie review.
Kush's movie review.
Kush's movie review. This week, it's The Menu. And as always, I like to read a little. It's a 2002 American dark comedy horror film. Directed, the reason I'm reading this out is because before you get into the review, I have a question to ask already. My gosh.
All right.
So it's directed by MacLeod, written by Seth Reese and Will Tracy, and produced by Adam McKay, Betsy Kush, and Will Ferrell. Now.
Okay.
Question. If you know the answer to this, so obviously, as far as I was aware, Adam McKay and Will Ferrell had a little falling out, and they didn't like each other. Are they back working together, or is this because I do believe this started production pre-pandemic? So I'm wondering, is this like a hangover of a previous project? So it's still technically produced by both of them, or what do you know? What's the rumor? What's the word on the street?
First I've heard about that. I saw what's his name in the credits, not Will Ferrell, but the other fellow, Adam McKay. And I went, okay, that's the comedy portion of this. I can tell you that what broke up their partnership was the HBO comedy docu-series about the Los Angeles Lakers, Showtime, or Game Time, Winning Time.
Oh,
Winning Time.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking of James.
Will Ferrell wanted to play the Lakers owner, and somehow that went to John C. Reilly, and that was it. That's when their separation happened. So this is definitely before that. Like, I don't know if it's weeks before this or what the case is, but yeah, that's an interesting tidbit. I did not know that. However, as you said, this is directed by Mark Millar. The last feature-length film he directed was in 2011, and it's What's Your Number? that's a rom-com with Anna Faris and Chris Evans before everyone knew him as only Captain America. And yeah, good for Mark Millar. This is a different movie from that. That's some bubblegum pop. That's something you take to the girlfriend to appease her on a date night you don't want to go to, but you gotta make a what's her name happy. Um, he's done a lot of TV in between all that, and I'm talking like your Game of Thrones and your Son of Anarchies and
I've heard of him.
the the newest one. What is that?
House of Dragons.
Not Billions.
Oh, Succession.
Succession. Thank you, sir. I have not seen Succession. Everyone loves it. He's directed one, if not a couple episodes of that. But this movie stars Ray Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and John Leguizamo. It is 1 hour 47 minutes. It's rated R.
Ooh.
And it's produced by Searchlight Pictures, which used to be Fox Searchlight, which is now just a subsidiary of Disney. So what I'm saying is probably around New Year's Day, New Year's week, this will come out on Hulu. And if it does, and even if it comes out later than that, you should absolutely watch this on Hulu. This is better on Hulu than it is in the theater. Like, I was entertained. The 1 hour 47 minutes, just enough time. I might shave off a minute. You know me,
You
dude.
love
I'm
to
always
shave
talking
off
about
some
like
time of these movies.
yeah, like we're not shaving off a lot of this. Like, not it, definitely not a lot. There's a lot of intrigue in this. There's a lot of interest. You're just like, where is this going? Why is this a thing happening? It was advertised to me as a horror movie, and there's horrific elements to it, but I wouldn't call it a horror movie. I'd call it more of a dark comedy. Like it pokes a lot of fun at foodies and just those restaurants where you're like, hey, can I just get like just a regular meal here? No, no, we have 6 courses here, and every course has a mission statement to it, and you need to appreciate that. And if you don't, you don't appreciate our food or how it tastes. They poke fun at all of that. At one point, there's a course that comes out that is supposed to be the bread course, and it's literally just the serving trays of the things you would dip your bread into, but no bread. Where bread is supposed to be is a little card, and it's like, this bread that you would have been eating was made by monks in Spain through blah 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 blah, blah with rye and da, 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 and the reason you're not eating it is because you're a bunch of cunts. It's all, this movie is all over the place, but it is, I would definitely say it's original. I would definitely say it's interesting. Do I want to watch it again? Not really. No. But I would recommend everyone watch this on the Hulu. Ray Fiennes plays the head chef. John Leguizamo plays an out of touch actor and out of work actor. He claims he based his character on Steven Seagal, but I'm just like, I don't get that at all. Like, there's no mention of kung fu or anything like that. You're just an actor and you pretend to know Ray Fiennes. So what? Anya Taylor-Joy, our generation's Meryl Streep, or the new generation's Meryl Streep. Like, this chick, what is this chick bad in? Nothing. Like, she's good in this. She's great in a lot of the stuff. She's very good in this still. Nicholas Hoult as well is in this. Judith Light, who most folks might know from the TV sitcom Who's the Boss. This is an ensemble cast, and while I don't know everybody plays their part very well. Again, it's all over the place. Doesn't make any sense to me. Not really. However, I enjoyed the adventure. Do I want to see it again? No. Would I sit through it again? Sure. If it was just on at a friend's house, I'd be like, yeah, you guys would like this. This is a good time. But so I'm giving this a high 3 out of 5. But yeah, you don't need to see this in theaters. It's for Disney, it's super indie-rific, so good for them. It's different. Again, that's the best part about it. It's different. I don't like the ending, but who cares what I think?
Well, you don't say that after people just sat through a movie review by you and then end it with, well, who gives a shit what I think?
Well, people disagree with my opinions.
Maybe like
And
a
I
teacher
acknowledge that.
saying, "So I've marked all of your tests. You get an A, but who gives a shit what I think anyway?"
No. That's a bad example because a teacher's test is absolute. It's right or it's wrong. Me, it's just what I presented here for the last 5 to 7 minutes. It's just an opinion. It's what I saw. It's what I thought. Am I right? Sure, but most folks might disagree with it.
And I want to socialize with those people.
The few folks I've
You
seen on like the
people.
Facebook that have like said this was a waste of time. I don't know what movie you saw. Like, again, 1 hour 47 minutes, good chunk of time. Like I was not bored the entire time. A lot of time I'm literally on the edge of my seat, just like, where is this going? I want to know more. Like I need more information. Let's see where this is going. And I was not disappointed. But I didn't have high expectations either. So high 3 out of 5.
High 3 out of 5. Much better than a low 3 out of 5. The
Definitely
menu.
better than a low 3 out of 5.
Check it out in the movie theaters, or if you don't want to, as Kush said, wait it out. And it's probably be on the Hulu pretty soon.
I think most of my reviews have been this year. Just it'll be on Paramount Plus. It'll be on HBO Max. It'll be on Peacock.
Well, I think pretty much now, unless it's kind of like a small time thing, most production companies or what's the word I'm looking for? Distributors, let's just call them that, are owned by a big company that owns a streaming platform that are desperate for subscribers as well. So I think that's going to be a thing. Most movies are going to be in theaters for like a month and then straight onto their streaming platform, which I'm all for.
The only one that has been conflicting against all of those theories, because that has been a thing the last 2.5 going on 3 years now, Mike, is Top Gun 2, Top Gun Maverick, and we reviewed that a while ago. I think we gave it like a 7 out of 5. But that's finally going to hit Paramount Plus like Christmas weekend. And it took its sweet time. Like it didn't do 45 days. Like it made folks wait 4 or 5 months before you could rent it or even purchase it like on iTunes. And then they came out with the physical copy. And now it'll be a part of the Paramount Plus platform. So that's the one exception to the rule. But yeah, majority of these things like Halloween Ends came out the same day that it was in theaters. And
I still haven't sat down to watch that yet. I can't bring myself to do it.
I mean,
it's one of those
I still
I
haven't seen Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills was terrible.
But I mean, so I didn't see Halloween Kills. I know it's still probably on Peacock or whatever, but Halloween Ends was at least different. It was at least different from.
Wait, how are you gonna watch Halloween Ends if you didn't watch Halloween Kills?
Yeah. We reviewed it here on the Waffle.
Yeah, no, I know that, but you're saying you didn't watch the first part, basically.
I saw Halloween 2018, and I liked that a lot. And I don't know if we were doing Waffle Box then. I don't think we were.
No, 20.
But then they came out with a press release like, we're gonna do 2 more of these. I was like,
2021 we started.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was definitely not into seeing Halloween Kills whatsoever. I heard it's the funniest movie of the year, by the way. But
depends on your sense.
Just to give us a review, I saw Halloween Ends. It was a better movie, man. Like it did something different. Michael Myers is like in it for like 7 minutes, and he's just a stinky sewer living hobo.
At the end of the day, aren't we all?
No. Thankfully, you and I are not stinky living hobos. No.
Who knows? I might be a stinky hobo who just once a week breaks into this house and uses.
That would actually be amazing.
The owners, they work nights, so slip in. Do some editing.
So he lives in the sewer,
and
but he has
back to the sewer
an extensive knowledge about the internet, and he knows how to work a Macintosh. So he logs on to our account, and he does a podcast once a week in our living room. And
He tidies up before he leaves. We don't mind.
Oh well, that's very Robert Downey Jr. of you. Very nice.
Yeah, and I Febreze, since obviously I'm a stinky sewer person. Light some candles.
I appreciate that. Then,
No.
like shit, I
Got
appreciate
manners.
that. You could just like take a shit in the center of the floor and then leave.
The only thing that doesn't stink about me is my attitude. Oh, that made me feel good. Another thing, what makes me feel good is feel good stories, and that's where we're gonna go next. We're gonna make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. And this week's feel good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
Yeah. This week's feel good story, as Kush makes love, sweet, sweet love to his microphone. Right. So this week's feel good story
don't judge me.
comes from the Washington Post, or WAPO, as people seem to shorten it to on the internet.
Ew. Lame.
And the story goes as follows. It all started with a watercolor set. That's what Ash Powell's parents gave their son. That's a weird bit of way to start the story. That's what Ash Powell's parents gave their son. So their son being Ash Powell's. Just say what Ash Powell's parents gave him. Oh dear.
What did they give him?
It's already gone off on a watercolor set. So they gave
watercolor set.
Ash Powell's parents gave Ash Powell a watercolor set on his 8th birthday. He created dozens of pieces of art and gave them away to family and friends. Powell was also spending a lot of time visiting the nursing home where his mum works, and that's where he got the idea to start selling his paintings, with all proceeds going to charity. Quote, just by talking to the residents and the people there, it just made them smile. And that really made me smile at the time, the Iowa resident told the WAPO. His goal was to raise $1,000, but over the last 4 years, he's made more than $15,000. In 2018, he gave his first $1,000 check to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and since then has made hefty donations to Easter Seals, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and other children's charities. Boom! Look at that guy. He's only 12 years old, a kid who realizes he's got a leg up on the competition, I should say. You know, he's got it better off than everyone else, and he doesn't make the most of it. He wants to give back to those less fortunate than him. He's only 12 years old, and he already knows that shit. That's pretty sweet. So shout out to Ash Powell.
Pretty amazing.
And Ash Powell's parents, not named in this article, by the WAPO.
Yeah, to his parents, you guys raised an amazing kid, because when I was 12, I was not thinking about doing anything for charity. So the fact that he's raised any amount of money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, like Kush and Kai tried to do that a few years ago. We raised some money, but we didn't hit our goal. But good for you, kid. Like, that's what's up.
That's what's up. Ash Powell. Cheers. Right, before we wrap up the show, should we do a little special? Special since it's Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hitting that segue, dude. Dude, it's Thanksgiving is tomorrow, man. Like, I know this isn't your favorite holiday on the calendar, but just in the spirit of the holiday, what are you thankful for this year? And by the way, folks, you don't have to be thankful just for one day of the year. You can be thankful for things every day of the year. It doesn't have to happen on the 4th Thursday of November. Like, this is a thing we can celebrate every day. And that's what we try to do with the Mike Fish's end of the story week.
Where you go with this?
Mike Fish, what are you thankful for this year?
Before I let you know what I'm thankful for, I just want to clear something up. We say it's not my favorite holiday. I guess no, it's the origins, I guess, of the story is a bit BS. But no, the feelings of the holiday, people getting together, family, being thankful, and all that good stuff.
The definition of the holiday. What do you?
Yeah, it's kind of like religion, similar to religion. I think organized religion is bullshit, but the idea of religion and people just want to be better persons so they get to heaven. Great idea, love it. So yeah, no, I just want to be rather than just being a whole, I'm really thankful for my family and these United States of Americas for taking me in 6 years ago. Indeed, it was. Indeed, this is the day before Thanksgiving, so this is officially my 6-year anniversary of stepping onto these lands. I moved here 6 years ago today. Wow!
Oh
Just
wow!
Remember that?
Wow! Today?
Yes, my anniversary.
I'm gonna raise a glass to you on that one. Welcome.
Cheers. And as I'm drinking the beer produced by the oldest brewery in America. What this is like? What an American! I just need like an American flag to drop from behind me now, and an eagle to land on my shoulder, and I can. Anyway,
I would love you more if that happened right now.
But no, yeah, I think the most thankful thing. I'm a big person who wants to get out and be sociable and creative and yada yada yada. And I tried doing creative outlets on my own and I failed miserably. So, I just want to give a shout out to not only this man right here, Kush Hayes, my other main man, Mr. Alex J. Middleton from the Claret and Big Blue podcast that I'm with, for allowing me for almost 2 years, exactly 2 years almost with Mr. Alex, and like a year and a half with Kush. So thank you for joining me on this journey and allowing me to put a podcast out in the world. It's been a lot of fun getting to know you a little bit, but even though, as we have mentioned before, we've known quote unquote each other for like 15 years, I think, at this point. But it's been a lot of fun on this journey. So I appreciate you, my friend.
I appreciate you too, Mike Fish. Like, we've definitely interacted. I think it's been over 15 years, man. Like, probably closer to 18. But doing this show with you, it's we came up with the slogan, the best part of Wednesdays, because this is my favorite day of the week when we record these episodes. And that's what makes it the best part of Wednesdays. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you creating the Waffle Box. I appreciate you inviting me to be a part of this and having like creative freedom, like there are times you're just like, what do you think we should do this week? Like, and most times I'm like, I don't know. But when I have an idea, you do run with it. You're like, all right, yeah, we should definitely do that. So, and then obviously, I appreciate my family. I appreciate my friends. I appreciate little sister Hayes, who's been a big part of the Bosnet family. I appreciate the Bosnet family. I appreciate Len Kapazinski. I appreciate Jamil Hemphill. I appreciate Robin Seto. I appreciate folks that we don't work with anymore. I appreciate friends that are still in our lives. I appreciate friends that we haven't talked to in years. I appreciate friends that we haven't met yet. And guys, I hope everyone is safe and healthy and happy. And if you, for some reason, don't have friends or family to rely on them, there's resources out there. Don't take shit to negative extremes.
Go to the YMCA, have a basketball game.
Go to the YMCA. Yeah. Pick a basketball game. That's what's up, dude. You're going to have a great time. Clean. You can think whatever you feel. So that's, I'm thankful for everybody and more in that. So that's all I got this year, man. I can't wait for our next recording. I'm going to have a review for the Knives Out sequel, Glass Onion. And that's what's up. That's all I got.
Wonderful stuff. But yeah, if you're a man goes to YMCA, I only just found out the other day that there's such. I didn't know the YMCA was just for men. There's a YWCA. I didn't know that. But I found
the YWCA is still for women, but the YMCA it's for everybody.
Come on, that YWCA, get with the times. Anyway, that wraps up And that's the moral of this episode 73. Thanks for checking this out. Thank you very much. And, thanks for, if you've ever listened to one episode or all 73, I'm thankful for you all. Hopefully you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Eat too much, drink too much, and whether it be non-alcoholic or alcoholic, we don't judge. Make sure you follow at WaffleboxPod for all the links. Go to enjoywafflebox.com. I am at only Mike Fish. He is at
Kush_Hayes, and 73 is the number of home runs Barry Bonds has in the year.
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Until
Don't
next
do
week.
all the drugs.
Take care of yourselves. And each other.
That's all, folks.